Hello, dear friends. Today, I'd love to share a verse with you that I find myself often dwelling on. It's found in the book of John, chapter 11, verse 3. And it simply says, Jesus wept. This very little verse holds so much weight and meaning for me. For context, this is when Jesus is with Mary and Martha as they're about to take him to the tomb of their brother, Lazarus. Lazarus had already been in his tomb for 4 days, and Jesus was being questioned as to why he didn't come sooner to heal him and keep Lazarus from dying in the first place. Now, Jesus knew. He knew even before Lazarus fell sick what was all going to take place. When Jesus did arrive at Bethany, and Martha met him and questioned why he wasn't there for her brother, Jesus only asked if she believed in what he could do for her. Then, when Mary met him, she too asked, "Why?" Upon seeing Martha and Mary's great love for their brother and their weeping, Jesus was moved to weeping himself. But he knew what was about to happen. He's known all along. In fact, he even tried to tell his disciples what he was going to do before they even set off for Bethany. Now, Jesus could have corrected the sisters for their actions. He could have said there was no reason to be feeling what they were feeling, that they had the wrong heart or attitude. And yet, Jesus still took time to weep with them, weep for them. How often do we not take the time to weep with our children? Life is going to be fine, so stop your crying. You shouldn't be feeling the way you're feeling because you clearly did something in order for this to be happening at all. We may know that joy is just a moment away for them. Or we may know that sometimes their choices did indeed bring on this hard moment. Whatever the outcome is going to be, whether they brought it on themselves or not, take the time to weep with them. Well, isn't this enabling them? What about tough love? Weeping with them does not mean keeping them where they are. Could you imagine if Jesus said to Mary and Martha, "Come, let's go back to your house and carry on with our mourning your brother's death," instead of going to Lazarus' tomb? No, he wept, and then he had them take him to Lazarus' tomb. Well, I don't want my children to be whining and complaining people. I completely understand that. In fact, our children know that if they whine and complain, we are going to remind them of the generation of Israelites who weren't allowed to go into the promised land for doing just that. That God has blessed us too abundantly for us to whine about anything. But if I may put this thought into your head, if we aren't going to allow them to express those thoughts and feelings with us, then who are they going to turn to in order to do so? If we don't allow it or make room for it, how are we going to teach them the right way to think and feel what they're going through? Who knows what we're making room for when we stop and allow our children to feel what they're going through? Giving them the space or moment to feel what they're feeling often leads to them learning from it. Many times our son reminds us that he's allowed to have his emotions as long as he has the self-control to not let them cause him to sin. Sometimes being your children's place to run to or shoulder to cry on often outweighs fixing the problem or even teaching them a lesson, because in their minds and hearts, they'll always know, my mom and dad wept with me. Lord, I pray we would all understand how deeply you love us. Not only did you come down to save us, but made it a point to feel what we feel. I pray you would give us discernment when it comes to matters like this, that we would have the compassion that you displayed for us. I humbly ask you to remind us to step down from our parenting box in these moments, to allow our children to not only know that they can come to us unashamed, but to feel that way as well, with whatever it is that may be weighing on their hearts. Please allow us to pause the valuable life lessons for moments to wrap them in love and understanding, for the reminder to come as you are, not stay as you are. Father, you are so good to us. Please bless my sweet friend as they continue to show your heart to their families. I pray this in your name. Amen.